Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. And it is Jammin' in Your Jammies time once again. We are so happy to have Chip Rector and Shonda Koblenz here with us. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Shonda, you are the teacher at Malone University, the professor who oversees education and the Kappa Delta Pi, I'm guessing, the
Correct.
group that puts this on.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this program itself and how it got going, and then we're going to get to talk to the star himself. So tell us a little bit of background.
Yeah. So Kappa Delta Pi is an international education association, honor society for those who are studying to be educators, and actually for people who are currently teaching, they can still be a part of the organization. And several years ago, long before I came on to Malone, believe this is the 14th year that we've been doing this. We partnered with Chip Rector and the monks, and it's basically a charity concert. So the proceeds from the concert in the past have been used in various ways. For example, we've adopted like a family at Christmas time and supplied the gifts for their children. Sometimes we will even choose a graduate student from Malone who may be struggling financially and would help with their Christmas. A few years back, we decided to kind of take a little shift, and since it's called Jammin' in Your Jammies, we thought it would be fun to kind of do a play on the whole Jammin' in Your Jammies thing, and we've, for the past 4 years, have donated all the proceeds to purchase pajamas for children who are going into foster care. So our students will then, after the concert, take the money that we have and go out and buy pajamas from sizes from birth, clear up through 18-year-olds. And it's just a great way to give back to children in our own community. So they're all children from Stark County who've been removed from their homes for various situations. And that way they can go into their new foster home with a nice new pair of clean pajamas and socks and underwear that they actually get to pick out themselves from the supply.
You know, we've had folks from foster care here, and it is amazing the difference that just having a cuddly pair of PJs to put on can make in a child's life as they're going into an uncertain situation, something unfamiliar, makes them feel safe and secure and warm and cared for.
Oh, for sure.
What a wonderful opportunity to donate to this. So there is a charge to attend. This is not donation only, yes?
Correct. Yes, it is. It's $5 a person. We charge a max of $25 per family. So that way we don't want it to be a burden on families, but we are taking all the proceeds, like I said, and giving them to children who are in need. So there is a minimal charge to come.
Well, and it's so fun because you've got like the best music, and that brings us to you, Chip Rector, Chip and the Monks. Chip, you got involved with this how long ago?
Gosh, when you said 14 years, Shonda, I was like, whoa, that's crazy to think, but I think it probably has been that long. I don't know. I think I was part of it from the very beginning, even before it was called Jammin' in Your Jammies.
Yes.
I'm going to guess that's true.
I was, I think when I was first invited to be a part of it, I came just solo. I do a lot of solo stuff too. And I came, and it was kind of a talent night, sort of. I think students participated. There was different things. And then I did my little set was for kids, and they had kids come in with families. And that kind of grew from that into what it is today, which was pretty much focused on a concert for kids and families. And then I think the sorority kind of took that and ran with it from there. I believe that's how it happened. I don't know.
And I know it's grown and grown because you've had to change venues a couple of times on the campus. But I'll tell you what, Kappa Delta Pi got smart because parents knew, you take your children to something like this, get them all souped up because it's pretty much a little kid mosh pit. They're all jumping up and down. It is so fun to watch. But then this way, if they're in their PJs, you can just take them home, throw them into bed.
Yes.
They are just ready to
it's
go.
It's a win-win.
Totally. And you now are taking place where? Where does this happen on the Malone campus?
This year it's going to be housed at in the Stewart Room, which is in what we call the barn, which is in the Randall Campus Center.
And so fun. Do you love playing there, Chip? Because that's got a nice stage, kind of a cool venue.
We love it. The Stewart Room is a newer venue this year for us. In the past it's been in the chapel in the Johnson Center, but I believe there's some construction happening there this year. But we love, because I do this with my band. We love doing this show. It's just been such a fun fun thing for us in tradition. I mean, the guys in the band will go like about August. I'll go, "Hey, we doing jammies this year?"
Oh, that's fun.
They remind me, and I'll say, "I think we are," and I'll send an email to Shonda and say, "Hey, are we up for this?" Yeah, we are, and here's the date. And so it sort of rolls around, and everybody's looking forward to it. So, 14 years. Think about it. If a child came to the very beginning, maybe they were 5 or 6 years old, so now they're 20.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's not amazing to think. Maybe they're a student at Malone.
Oh,
I
let's
wonder
hope so.
if there's any students at Malone who came to Jamies when they were children.
I wonder.
I'll just bet there are. Oh my goodness, because a lot of the faculty children go to this, and then they probably become students at Malone.
That's
so
pretty fun.
it's very, very true. You might even be starting to get into a second generation of jamming kids at the same time. I think what people are so surprised, Chip, I've heard parents and grandparents alike say this. They didn't expect the music to be so good. They thought they were coming to a cute little children's concert and kind of like a fun entertainment. And then they found themselves absolutely jamming themselves and loving it. Talk about the musicianship that goes behind this.
Well, my friends, the guys that are in my band, the Monks, are all of them stellar musicians, and they've done, all of them are just so good, and they play with other bands. They've done other recording projects, and in their own right, individually, they're just great musicians. And I'm just blessed and thankful to have them as part of my band. And but more than that, they're just really good friends. I mean, we've played together for close to 20 years, and they just make my music sound so good. And there's just great energy, and they truly love doing it. They tell me that all the time, that for them, because the work that they do in music couldn't be more different than what we do with children, with kids and families. They're playing for grown-ups, and they're playing in different venues that are just so different from that. And so for me to come and join me with this, for them, they just, they expressed to me how much joy it is for them to be a part of it. And it's kind of synergistic, I think, with children watching and playing for kids and families and watching it all happen. It comes right back to us, and that causes us to want to do more of what we are doing. And it's just it really is this sort of synergy that happens. Super joyful, super happy.
So very cool. You want to give a shout out? Who are the Monks? Let's name the band.
Yeah, I will for sure. My drummer is, they have band names. They have monk names. Oh. When we play out together, we're Chip and the Monks. And so as the Monks, Dr. Groove is my drummer, and his name is Brad Shell. And so there may be people who know Brad. Grego plays the saxophone, flute, harmonica, whistle. Greg is a multi-talented instrumentalist, and so plays all these instruments. And so it's great. He's the oldest member of the band, not in age, but in terms of how long he's been a monk. He's the original monk, I should say that. And then Mr. Marty is the bass player. Oh, I should say Grego's name is Greg Aker.
Right.
So. And then Mr. Marty plays bass, sings vocals, and keeps me laughing all the time. He's just always funny. And you never know what Mr. Marty's going to say from stage. Sometimes I hold my breath because it's all good. It's all good.
It's all family
safe.
Friendly.
But he makes me laugh so much. And that's Marty Cummings. And Marty Cummings is from the Canton area. So there may be listeners who know Marty. Marty was formerly a worship leader at one of the River Tree campuses, and continues to do music in the area. So Brad Shell, Marty Cummings, and Greg Aker, those are the Monks. And I appreciate those guys so much.
Who wears jammies, Shonda? Is it just the kids?
We actually have a lot of parents that come too. Yeah. So sometimes we'll have a fun theme where maybe there'll be superhero pajamas and the whole family will dress up. But generally we have everyone attending. And then, of course, our students as well. And then Chip and the Monks, they show up in their jammies too. So it really is a fun time for everyone.
You know what? And it's a great, good opportunity to get a second use out of those Polar Express pajamas.
That is true.
Go ahead and wear them to this as well.
Yes.
And there you are, good to go.
Yeah.
And then wear them Christmas Eve.
Right.
You got a theme going there. I think what's so funny, Chip, is that your music is so good that there's even one of your songs that at one point you kind of went into Sgt. Pepper and then went back into your song. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah. Well, we do. We do cover some Beatles tunes. Because I've, when I started out doing music for kids and families, people say, how did you get into this? And my answer is pretty simple. I never set out to be a musician for kids. I think that world kind of discovered me. It kind of called me into it, or God called me into it is really more of a truth. But it discovered me. And then once I was in it, I realized this is what I was supposed to do. And so when I was in it, I went in it after, as someone who played music for grown-ups in coffee houses and different festivals and things like that, doing sort of a solo folky singer-songwriter thing. And I didn't really want to leave behind quality or creativity. I wanted that to be a part of it. And so I just was determined I wasn't going to change the level of quality or excellence about what I do. I just felt it was important to keep doing that. And I discovered that I didn't have to dumb it down. I didn't have to water it down in any way. Because kids are very intuitive. They're very perceptive. And guess what? Parents are the ones who bring their kids to these concerts. So they need to be connecting with what's happening, because for it to be successful and continue and have the legs that it's had, it needed to be just good music that kids happen to like.
Absolutely.
And that have themes and messages that are, that are appropriate and good and helpful for families. And that's been my approach to this whole thing from the very beginning. And so, as a result, when we do these shows, we'll mix in some Beatles tunes, we'll mix in some James Taylor, we'll mix in some things that are, fairly grown up, but kids love it, and there's a great message in most of those songs too. So,
is there anything more fun than watching all those little children just jumping up and down in front of you? That's got to be the best audience ever.
It's nothing more fun. It's the best. It's the best. And I feel like grown-ups get something from it too. A lot of times I'll do family concerts in churches, and there'll be, grandmas and grandpas there. People of all ages come to a show like that. And sure, the kids are up front and they're really engaged, but I see the oldsters, in the back, and they're beaming watching this.
Yeah.
And I just know that there's something good happening in their hearts and in their spirits as they watch these children. And I just know that, God is doing good things. I think we are, all of us, connected and knit together in this in this fabric of who we are as a people of God and a people of community and faith and family. And I just feel like God uses kids to just bring something to us that we couldn't get in any other way. And so I love that opportunity to see this cross-generational kind of event happen.
Well, it's a special night for sure. We've got everybody excited about it now. We got to let them know when it happens. So when is this taking place, Shonda?
It is on Friday, November the 16th, and it starts at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, 6:30, and it goes till about how long?
The music goes to about 7:30, and then following the concert, we have cookies and milk, and we encourage the parents to hang around for a half hour or so out in the lobby and just enjoy some time with their children.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is so much fun. All right, we are going to take a very short break here. We're going to be back talking with Chip Richter and Shonda Koblenz after these words. You're listening to Our Community.